We're seeing a lot of wind damage and temperature damage this year. Likely it will not do any permanent damage to your plants. Mandanas burning off the leaves. Here's a hollies giving this burnt look like this. That's called desiccation. And what that's from is low temperatures and high winds blowing. And it just saps all the moisture right out of the plant. And the ground is frozen, so the plant can't take up moisture. So it's drawing the moisture out, but it can't replace it. So you get desiccation and burning, especially on the tips where you can get the moisture getting to the. Well, we sell a couple of products, and as far as an installation company, what we do is all of our evergreens that go out in the fall or winter are all sprayed with a wilt proof. This is a product that's basically we got two of them, no wilt, moisture in 5. This is it's basically a polymer product. It's like a waxy polymer. You spray this on the plant, and it's keeping the plant from being desiccated. It's like putting kind of a wax coat on the plant. You just mix this up like you do any oil spray or any. It's perfectly safe, non-toxic. You mix this up in some water and you put it in your sprayer and you spray it on the plant. This one right here is actually a squirt bottle to use. But oh yeah, any evergreens I use this on, and it's wonderful.
Would you do it before the winter started?
Yeah, I would do it. I mean, once the damage has happened, it's a little late at that point. You're trying to prevent the damage from happening. Again, it's just so you don't have to stare at it. But in our landscape situations and new plants, if y'all, fall's time for planting, right? We get out and we put all these plants in the ground, and then they get burned up over the winter, especially broadleaf plants like hollies and laurels. Not mountain laurels, but like the autoleucon laurels, the West Coast laurels and stuff. The first season, they're real prone to get burned, and what it is they have no root system yet, so they don't have roots to take up moisture, so that it gets sucked out of all this nice fluffy foliage all over the plant. The moisture gets taken out faster than the plant can take it up. So we treat all of our plants that are going into the landscape with that spray, and it works quite well. You'll still get some burning, but it really cuts down on the wind burn.
If it's already happened, would you get rid of it?
Yes, that foliage is going to be, it won't come back. But what I will say is, like these hollies and stuff, you can prune off this foliage, but the buds and the stems and all are just fine. It's very unlikely you've got actual damage to the wood of the plant. It's just the foliage. So you can come in and do a little pruning on the plant, prune off if you've got holly bushes that have gotten burned, or nandina or stuff like that. Just clip the top out of your nandina. You can just come in and clip some of the tops, and nandina, man, it comes back with a passion. So you won't lose. You might, if you prune too hard, you might lose some flower buds on those tips. So if you want, you can just go ahead and pinch leaves. You can actually just pull the leaves off. But it really is something your plants will come back from. But this year we're seeing burn on a lot of things. Like you don't usually ever see burn on Nellie Stevens hollies, but that's what this picture was right here. That's Nellie Stevens. So I mean, it's a perfectly tough plant, perfectly hardy for us, but it's got some burn on it this year, and it'll come back out of it just fine. Boxwoods, you'll see some burn on some boxwoods too. Generally, the boxwoods are burning. They had a late flush, and they didn't get to harden that growth off, and that growth burnt on the top. Just a little bit of shearing off the top gets rid of that. You'll have fresh flush come out in the spring, and they'll be fine. You won't have any problems. So, not a long-term thing.